Okay, everyone, looks like we had a nice big down day today instead of the up day that I was expecting. This is Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and we did have that move up early in the morning, but the sideways consolidation and breakout into the close we did not have that I was expecting. Instead, we sold off quite a bit. This is clearly showing that the bulls are weakening, because normally in the past, so many times that we have seen it, they would have went up here and then traded sideways all day until they busted out. They did go up here, just as you can see here on the histogram towers, and what I was thinking was going to happen that did not happen was that it would roll over and roll negative and then roll back up into the close and come back up. Well, it did do that on the histogram bars and the towers here. That part all synced up, but the market didn't trade sideways to make a bull flag and come out. Instead, it sold off hard and then tried to recover a little bit. So this is telling me that the odds of trying to go up here and make a new high are really diminishing. At this point, I'm not giving it strong odds. 50-50 chance at this point. I won't put down the bulls because they are pretty headstrong and will manipulate this market any way they can. But with everything that's going on right now, it's looking less and less likely that they're going to go up here and put on a high as I thought they might do when I mentioned that in the weekend video. So at this point, tomorrow we could very well dip back down, and if we don't put in a lower low, then this might recycle back up and continue up. Might not even go negative, might just dip a little bit and then curl back up. Because look at where we are here. We are below the zero line and curling up, so it sold off pretty hard here and went pretty negative. I mean, it obviously could go a lot more than -4. It could go to -6 or whatever, but looks like it wants to move back up again. So if you drew a line right here across through here, if it does move up and hits that line, that's going to be a good shorting opportunity, I do believe. I think the charts will probably start to roll over at that time if they don't gap it above there. Of course, if they gap it above that area, which is about I don't know, about maybe 1322 or something, if they're able to gap it above that area, then of course they could very well go up much higher and retest this for a triple top. Whether or not that's going to happen or not, I don't know. Looking at the 30-minute chart, kind of the same thing here. Where I thought that we would curl back up here and put in a little bit more of a higher histogram tower than that. I thought it was going to go up here like this, and we didn't. We sold off instead. So that's a first for a bullish Monday. Not a first, but you know what I mean. It's a shocker. So we are kind of sold off, or pretty oversold at this point. So I do think that they're going to try to run up some. I just don't know how much. It's really up to them on that. There's no way of knowing. But again, if they gap it over basically about where this line is, about 1322, you just draw a line right here. If they gap it over, then yeah, then they can run up a little higher. They'll hit that triple top, then make a triple top on it, and then probably into the close they might pierce through it or something if they want to go up here and try to put in that high that we were thinking that they could possibly do, as Mr. Topstep said, 1349. But I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. That's again, I don't know. 50-50 odds on it, like I said. We are still here inside the channel, and we have had 3 successive higher lows here. 60-minute chart now, whereas I thought it would roll up today, it did not. It rolled back down, and this here is not a positive divergence. So this is what the bulls really got to look out for. This lower histogram tower here is lower than this one here. So it did not put in a positive divergence. That positive divergence failed. So even though you had 1, 2, 3 with this one here before this one happened today, it failed. It failed. So, and there's really no sign that this is curling back up yet. It could very well continue on down. There's nothing to say that it will curl back up. Now the 30-minute appears that it wants to curl up, and the 15 looks like it could go a little further on the upside too. But this one here is not showing it, and 60-minute chart's got more power than these other ones do. So all in all, it is still looking bearish. So, and there's that same line again, about 1332 again. It's going to need a gap above. I mean 1322 area roughly. Draw that line right there, and if you can gap above it, then you can make a run. And you know, triple tops you rarely have triple tops. More likely you bust on through them. That's what generally happens. So if they gap through it, then that's going to give them a bunch of momentum, and they will probably hit that triple top and bust out of it by the end of the day, and then make a run up higher. If they do not, if they open up where they're at flat and try to run up, as soon as they hit this area right here, this line, this falling line right here, it's a wedge. It's really a wedge. I mean, with this here support and this here, it could very easily cause this market to just roll right over. And they don't usually have, not always, but the odds of it going through a falling trend line are much lower than the odds that it will continue higher if it gaps over it. The easier way to do it is always to gap over it, so that you don't have to fight your way through that falling trend line of resistance there. So what you're looking for tomorrow morning is to see where this thing opens. Does it gap and go above 1320, 1322 or something like that? If it does, then you know, I think it's going to make a quick run up here to 1332 there for a triple top, and then you're just going to have to see if it trades sideways all day, then it puts in a bull flag, and then it should bust out by the end of the day, I would suspect. Or earlier, could do it very early. I don't know. But with everything that's going on in the market right now, with the Middle East and Egypt and all this, and oil, there's a lot of fear still going on in the market. So unless they can spin it and cause oil to back off, as well as silver is probably, from the looks of it, it looks like it needs to back down some, but I think oil does too. And I said that in the weekend video. I still kind of think that needs to back down a little bit to give the market a little bit of room to run before it finally collapses. Now, whether or not it just runs up here and stops here or continues higher to 1349, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Now once this trend line here breaks, though, I think we're going to fall pretty sharp. I really do. And so we're running out of time. Literally, probably by tomorrow or by Wednesday at the latest, this market's got to make up its mind. It's either going to bust out and go higher, or it's probably going to bust down and break this trend line and fully collapse. And when you look at this daily chart, here is what is different and than most of the time periods, is the cross right here of the 10-day moving average here in the light gray, and the 20-day moving average. They have now, the 10 crossed over the 20 right now, so it has got a bearish cross right now. Now it did this back here too. Notice that it did it back there as well. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going down for sure. Now when I see these things cross over the red 50 moving average, then yeah, then I'll take it a lot more serious. But for now, we're still in a topping phase. On my website, someone posted a link to Didi, I think, posted a link to Oscar's Trading with Oscar's, his video, and he is now bearish, and that's rarity for Oscar, because ever since I've watched his videos in the past, I don't watch him too much anymore because he's pretty much a day trader, but he's a diehard bull. But he'll go either way, bearish or bullish, but he is becoming bearish right now. and it's all because of this bear flag. Down, sideways consolidation. Draw a line across here, draw a line across here, and then you draw your line down right here, and you have a bear flag. So, I think the upside is going to be limited unless they can bust through that overhead resistance right there, which it's going to be tough right now because the daily, even though it looks like it wanted to curl back up yesterday before today's down move, it did look like it was want to curl back up, then maybe roll over. It's not getting that support. It's coming up here to 50 and wanting to roll back down. Looks like it's kind of neutral. And here it is barely here on the slow stochastics, which takes a lot more time to move. It's barely holding on to 50. Once it starts to go below there, it's getting into bear territory and becoming very bearish. And it's not getting the daily is not getting any support anymore by the weekly chart, and that is the key. The weekly chart is now got a touch. It's not a cross yet, but it looks to be a touch of the black line here, and the red line looks like they're touching on these MACD moving averages. If they're not, they're awful close. But you can clearly see it has been rolling over. Once this thing goes negative, and I think it will this week, it's bear season or bull season then, and the bears will be the ones with the guns hunting the bulls at this point. So again, exactly what I said in the video that I did for the weekend post. We've got now 1, 2, 3 weeks already. We're going to the 4th week. This should be the week that we tank. As you see here, we got 1, 2, 3 weeks right here, and the 4th week we tanked, and we had before it retraced about half of the move of the prior week. Well, we're already at that right now. So, very easily, it does not have to go up any tomorrow. It does not at all. It could very easily just continue right on down and put in a bar like this by the end of the week. It very well could. However, again, I think that oil and silver are going to back down for a few days. I don't know how many, but that they're going to back down and give the market a little bit of a breather to run up. How high it runs up, I do not know, and that is the key. Looking over here at Cobra's chart, Cobra posted this, and I agree with him. 100%. We've had 1, 2, 3 higher lows, which is still bullish. But this down move and this pattern here is a flag. Just make a square out of this right here, a slope square, drawing a line like this, drawing a line like this, and then this being the flag pole. It's upside down. It's a bear flag, and that is what we're seeing right now. So here on the SPY, it does look similar to this move here, but again, if it runs up here and bangs on this line right here as we move down, it's again about 132, what would it be, 75 or something like that. If it's not able to gap over that, then it doesn't really have much of a chance of running higher. I know this is only 2 touches here on this line that's not drawn in here, but it is still a line of resistance. And with the market being so weak, if it hits it, it should fall back down. It should fall back down. So the VIX, of course, is making a bull flag. It's some kind of messed up one here, but basically draw a line down here and then draw a line here and draw a line here, kind of make this into a sloping square down, with this being the flagpole. Of course, it's just a huge gap, but you have to draw a line here, and that is a bull flag. Up and slight down movement is sideways consolidation, and that's a bull flag for a move up. So it's coming. We're getting very, very close. And here on the SPY, the full stochastics here, as you can see, they're in a topping phase. From where they moved down here, from the high all the way down to here, and you look at this right here at 20, and then it recovered, that down, recovered, down. Is it going to recover anymore? It's looking to me like it's ready to roll back over now. And that, again, it does not mean it might straighten back up tomorrow if there's a slight up day tomorrow. And but I don't know at this point what they're planning on doing. But the charts are looking bearish certainly on a daily, as down, sideways consolidation here, draw a line again, bear flag. So we are looking ready to collapse, I do believe. I think by then this week, this market is just going to fall off a cliff. And oil did it busted out again, but it did put in a topping tail. So that might be the only thing that saves the market, at least for a day or two, to give it a rally, is if oil backs down a little bit and maybe comes back here and hits a bounce or something before it runs forward again. Because this was a pretty extended line right here. So maybe 1-2 down days or something, or 3 at the most. I can't imagine very many, because it is pretty overheated. But I'm not looking for it to roll down here and curl back up. I'm looking for it to just dip a little, then continue, and stay up above there as this thing runs up for weeks. So I was off on the move up this morning. I thought it was going to move up, but it didn't. It sold down. So at this point, I'm 50-50 on whether or not we're going to hit a new high. I don't know. I just don't know. It really will all depend on whether they can gap it above this 1322 level. If they can gap above it, they can run up here again, hit a triple top, and they should bust on through and going up. If not, a failure to do that, then all it's going to happen is it's going to go up here and going to hit that trend line and not likely go through it. And that's just a shorting opportunity for a move down later in the day tomorrow. And this third move down, I think, should take out these 1, 2, 3 lows. I think these 1, 2, 3 higher lows. I think it'll take it out if it rolls back over after hitting this a third hit and can't get through it. So that's a possibility. Futures are up only 2 points in the after hours right now, so there's not much. Of course, anything can happen tomorrow morning. We'll see, I guess. So that's it, gang. I will see everyone on the blog. Good luck. And if you see it open above 1322, then you can expect it to run up. If you see it open flat or below it, you can expect it to run up there and hit it. And it probably will be a good shorting opportunity, I do believe, as it hits it. Obviously, you got to watch it and see how much the charts get overbought on this 15, 60, and 30. So, okay. See you guys tomorrow, gang.